Hi, this story is about me becoming a plastic surgeon and why I wanted to go into medicine. And I hope you enjoy this. Thanks. So I think it started when I was 5 years old. I told my mom at the Federal Way Library that I wanted to be a heart surgeon. I don't think I was a particularly great student, but I think that things came easy to me in mathematics and science, and I just kept getting better. My mom told me that don't be a bump, and that's what she thought a bum was a bump, which I thought was funny. I was pretty much a goofball when I was in junior high. One class clown, most excuses, and most rowdy starting in junior high. I was a pretty normal student, normal kid, had my best friend Ricky and my other friends, the Beef Boys. We lived in Marine Hills in Federal Way, and things weren't bad. It was I had a pretty easy childhood. Then I was about 18 years old, and it was during the summer when I got some news. I remember this clear as day. It was sunny, and I was with my mom in our kitchen. I knew something was wrong because she looked at me different. I knew she was going to tell me something bad. She basically told me she had a tumor in her stomach, her ovaries, and she just started crying. And so that beautiful summer day, sunny and the best day in the world, was probably one of the worst days of my life. She told me she had cancer, and the tumor was huge, and I'd never seen her cry ever like that before. Hi, I'm back from doing an 8-hour surgery and talking about what my journey was being to become a facial plastic surgeon. After my mom told me she had ovarian cancer, the next 2 years were pretty difficult. I was 19, 20, and not mature enough to understand what was going on. She had the cancer surgery, and I guess it was really rough. Chemotherapy was grueling, radiation therapy was grueling, and it got really bad, so much that she started getting leakage. Essentially, she started having osteotomy bags because the chemotherapy ate away her stomach, and she would have leakage from her stomach. And the drainage just kept coming. There'd be new holes seemingly coming all the time. I just remember her crying all the time when we'd have to clean her. It was so painful, and it was just a hard thing to see your mom go through that. This is when I was in college, and I got into a fraternity and was experiencing college life. I didn't think she was going to die, basically, but there was a point where I knew that it might not go well, and I basically moved out and went back home to be with my mom and go to school and commute from Federal Way to University of Washington because I wanted to be by my mom. I didn't want to regret anything, that I didn't spend enough time with her and tell her I love her and everything. But more back to why I became a doctor and a facial plastic surgeon. I basically initially got into business school because my dad was a businessman. He was a real estate developer. He started out as a banker and then started developing all sorts of hotels and motels and business buildings. So I thought I wanted to be a businessman and go into business and do the same thing he did. I got into the UW Business School, and there was a specific day during accounting where I was sitting there and I was like, this is not me. I can't do this for the rest of my life. I can't crunch numbers the rest of my life. And I basically made in an instant a decision to drop everything in business that point when I was in the accounting class. And I basically took 2 more years to go into or finish all my prerequisites for medical school, and then I applied to medical school and got into a bunch of places and chose New Orleans, Tulane, because it was totally different from Seattle. But what really made me decide to go into medicine was the fact that I didn't feel business. I didn't feel business was a right fit for me. I just couldn't put my heart into it. And I totally figured that out during that accounting class that one night. And now I'm totally glad I did it, that I went into medicine. I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm basically living my dream, and I love what I do. So that's kind of the beginning of my journey to become a doctor and my decisions to do medicine instead of business. Later on, I'm going to talk about why I decided to go into facial plastic surgery, my journey to down that road and route in the next story.